Howdy y'all, Christi here with Little Salty Homesteader. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a minute since I have filmed a video. Life has been very overwhelming, but it is a new year, which means it is a new garden plan essentially, and that typically means there's big seed orders happening. I did place an order from 5 different seed companies. I decided to just go ahead and get everything that I thought I was going to need for all of 2026 based on the seeds that I already had, plus some stuff that I wanted to try and some stuff that needed to be replenished. So today's video is actually going to be the unboxing for those 5 orders that I placed. The focus on my seed order this year was for late summer and fall flowers. Usually, especially my front flower bed, looks pretty awful come July, August, September, etc. until the springtime planting again. And I'm really wanting to make it a bit more attractive so that whenever we pull up after running errands and stuff, we have something nice and beautiful and cheery to look at. So that was part of the focus. Another part of the focus was also to add some more perennials, especially perennials that will attract pollinators, feed the hummingbirds, help butterflies and stuff like, and the bees of course. So just really trying to make sure we have a good food source for them outside of the few flowers that I do have outside at the moment, which is mostly just dandelions. I also did get a few tomatoes. I'm still narrowing down what really works best in my garden. I did a bunch of research back in September or October or something, whenever I still had time, for tomato varieties that grow well here in North Texas, and I picked up a few recommended varieties from all of that research. I didn't get all of them because some of the companies have like a minimum order amount, and I just didn't have enough packets to make that minimum order. So I'm going to kind of supplement with what I already have to fill in those gaps for the ones that I did not buy. There will be a 2026 tomato video coming out later, as long as I continue to have time. And then a couple of pepper varieties and just a couple more edible items. So as I'm going through this, you're going to definitely see the flower heavy theme here. Again, just trying to incorporate more beauty, especially in the front, which gets so much sun in the summer that I really had to pick some stuff that loves the heat, loves the sun. Hopefully we'll be able to have an attractive front yard from now on. So the first order that I'm going to start with is Botanical Interests. I have ordered many times from Botanical Interests, and I always have pretty good success with their seeds. There's never been a plant that I've been like, this just did not work for me. Usually it was gardener error and not seed error. So I am really happy with them as a company. Also, they give you a ton of information whenever you order from them. So you get like a seed starting guide. It's for free, they don't charge you for it. So you get, you know, how to like start seeds indoors, direct sow, all that fun stuff. And then they did send a free variety. I don't know if they do it every time, I can't remember, but I didn't do any research on the free varieties because they weren't like intentionally ordered to go into the garden. But I will tell you, if any of the companies gave me something for free, I will tell you what it was. All right, so Botanical Interests. Sorry, I'm really jibber jabbery today. The first variety that I got from them is going to be Cherokee Carbon Tomato. Now this one was actually recommended as a viewer comment on a previous tomato video that I posted. So I decided to give it a try. It is an indeterminate purple beefsteak variety. The tomatoes are 10 to 12 ounces, which makes them perfect for slicing. I will also use them for sauces and salsas and all of the yummy things because that's the whole reason that I'm growing tomatoes. This one is a cross between a Cherokee Purple and a Carbon. tomato, which results in increased production with fewer cracks and blemishes. So I'm really excited to give this one a try. I have not grown Cherokee Purple before, but I have grown Carbon, and I really loved the flavor of it. So I'm very hopeful for this. This one will reach maturity in 75 to 80 days. And I do apologize if I'm really sniffly. I had the flu over Christmas, and I still have a ton of congestion from that. And the mountain cedar pollen is ridiculously high right now, which I'm allergic to, of course. So I have all of the things going on. So I apologize for all of the gross sniffly noises and, you know, really nasally sounds. But next variety, Supremo tomato. Now this is a determinate Roma type tomato. This one is perfect for sauce, paste, salsa, etc. Anywhere where you want a meaty type tomato and less of a juicy one. This one is disease resistant and heat tolerant and reaches maturity in 68 days. Now the thing with determinate tomatoes is, compared to an indeterminate tomato, this one is going to continue to bloom and set fruit as long as the conditions are favorable. It's less than 90 degrees. It's not, you know, it doesn't have some sort of disease or some sort of pest causing a lot of problems. Determinate is going to reach its size, reach like a determined size for the plant. Usually that's like 4 to 5 foot for a determinate variety. It's going to bloom and set most of its fruit all at one time. So for people who can a lot of tomatoes, they typically lean on the determinate type so they can get all of their canning done at one time rather than staggering it throughout the summer. I do both because I don't necessarily have a whole day or weekend or what have you to devote to canning. So the indeterminate kind of spaced in there helps me break it up so that I can do a few jars of tomato sauce here and a few jars there without needing to devote an entire day in the kitchen when I don't necessarily have time to do so. And then the last variety of seed that I purchased was actually a refill, so to speak. So I grow snapdragons in my flower bed in the back every year. There was a variety that was growing in one of the corners called Night and Day. It was actually a perennial variety. It lasted 3 years, I believe, and it was absolutely beautiful. So it died off this year, or sorry, it died off in the summer of 2025. It is now 2026, so not this year. And I really wanted to plant it again, but I wanted it both ends now. So I got some more seeds for that. And this is a perennial, of course. It blooms from early summer to late fall. It has burgundy foliage with dark red and white blossoms, and this attracts bumblebees. I think probably the red color is what really does it. And then the free variety that Botanical Interests sent is going to be this lettuce mix here, and I will grow this, probably get it started in a couple of weeks to get out into the green stalk that I have on my patio that I grow lettuce in, simply because I've had lettuce out there all winter and it is so awesome to just go out there and grab what I need and then come back in. We've been eating a lot of sandwiches and stuff, so really useful. This is especially a good bonus whenever you get free lettuce, right? Because have you tried to buy it in the store lately? It's not that inexpensive. All right, so the next company that I ordered from is definitely going to be all flowers and things like that. This company is called Swallowtail Garden Seeds. They are based in California. I have ordered from them in the past and had good success with their seeds. Another YouTuber that I watch who is a flower gardener here in North Texas, she orders almost exclusively from them. So, and her gardens are amazing. So again, good success ordering from them, and we're gonna just try some more stuff from them. So the first variety is going to be Premium Sun Chocolate Covered Cherry Coleus. Now their seed packets are very basic, so I will try to insert pictures here. This variety of coleus is a warm season annual. It has deep mahogany leaves with rose centers and green edges. It has a mounding habit with several branches. It reaches 18 inches at maturity, and it will live in full sun to part shade. Now, caveat on the full sun, it prefers humidity if it's going to be in full sun. It doesn't want like a super dry environment. There are some places in my front that are part shade, so that will be where the coleus goes, and then in the back, because I do have those 2 trees there is partial shade there, so I'll be able to put them in the back as well. The next variety is another coleus, and it is Premium Sun Pineapple Surprise. This is another warm season annual with multicolor leaves in shades of chartreuse, burgundy, and green. It has a mounding habit with several branches that reaches 20 to 26 inches tall. So this one's going to be a little bit taller than the chocolate covered cherry. And again, full sun and humidity to part shade. And then one more coleus. This is going to be the Premium Sun Watermelon. This is a warm season annual with brilliant pink leaves and cream accents and lime margins, so very colorful. This has a mounding habit with several branches that reaches about 20 inches tall, and this will also survive in full sun and humidity to part shade. So all 3 of those coleus varieties are going to just provide like a foliage contrast to all of the different flowers and things. I also got some ornamental grasses that we'll discuss coming up, really just trying to break up all of the different flowers and try to incorporate different textures and different heights and different visual appeal and things. All right, so the next item that I got is a perennial variety. It is called Sparkle White Guara. This is a perennial that is winter hardy to zone 6. It has 24 to 30 inch tall plants that produces branching spikes of 1 inch white flowers that are tinged in pink. This will bloom from June until the frost, so this is going to be a summer and fall blooming flower. Because it is perennial, it will probably bloom the second year and not the first year. So the first year will be focused on growing the foliage part. This one is heat, humidity, and drought tolerant. And the next variety is the pink muhly grass, which is an ornamental grass. This is another perennial variety, so it will return year after year. It reaches 2 to 3 foot tall with showy, fluffy pink grass plumes. It tolerates heat and drought, and it is winter hardy to zone 5. The next variety is Purple Bell Honeywort. And this is an annual flower with 2-foot stems that have long-lasting purple bracts. The magenta flowers attract bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds, and it has silver blue-green foliage. Now, if you guys watched my videos last summer, I had some hummingbirds that migrated through here, and I was so tickled pink excited because my nanny, my grandma, used to sit on her patio just watching the hummingbirds in Louisiana all day, and so I really felt like she was kind of there with me. So I really wanted to plant some stuff that would bring more hummingbirds in or keep them in my yard flitting around a little while longer, so I could kind of have a piece of her out in the garden too. So the next few varieties are going to be varieties of marigolds. Marigolds make an excellent companion plant, especially for tomatoes and peppers. They help repel some pests, but they can also attract spider mites. So please keep that in mind. You might need to yank it and then be ready to plant another one in its space. But it does do a good job at repelling other pests. So I do like to plant a ton of marigold all throughout my garden. There's not really a plant that you shouldn't plant it next to. It's pretty friendly with everybody. So the first variety of marigold is called Fireball. This is a warm season annual. It is a French variety with 2.5 inch blooms. Now the French marigolds will repel the root nematodes, the bad ones, so these are excellent to have in your garden, especially if you have battled nematodes in the past. The deep red petals transform to bronze and then a golden honey. The plants themselves are 10 to 12 inches tall, so this is a more compact variety, and it is perfect for containers, garden beds, and edging pathways. Now this guy is going to go all throughout my garden, again, for the pest repelling properties, companion planting. etc. Plus, it has really cute little flowers. The next variety of marigold is Strawberry Blonde. I have grown this one before, so this is basically just a seed replacement, and it is absolutely beautiful. This is a warm season annual with double 2.5-inch blooms. The russet red blossoms transform to apricot yellow, then a rosy peach. You could have all three colors all on the same plant. It is just an absolute stunner in the garden. The plants themselves reach 8 to 10 inches tall, so again, another compact variety. The next one is Yummy Mummy Marigold. Again, all marigolds are warm season annuals. This one has chrysanthemum-like blooms on 12-inch tall plants. The flowers themselves reach 4 inches, so they're going to be a larger marigold, but on like a smaller plant. So super cool. And the flowers are orange, yellow, and gold. These are perfect for borders and containers. Again, throwing them everywhere. The last variety of marigold that I got from Swallowtail Garden seeds is Zenith Red, however you want to pronounce that. Again, warm season annual, 3 to 4 inch mahogany red double blooms fade to a reddish gold. These are 14 to 16 inch tall plants, so a little bit bigger, but not super massive. I grew some African marigolds a few years ago that were literally 3.5 foot tall. They were giant. These don't get that big. The next variety is a nasturtium variety. This is a cooler season annual, not cold like petunias and pansies, but this is going to be like a spring annual flower. It is also edible. You can eat the flowers and the leaves. A lot of people will turn the leaves into pesto. The flowers you can put in salads and stuff, use as a garnish, what have you. They have kind of a peppery bite, kind of like arugula or radishes and stuff. This has, oh my gosh, words are really hard today. Okay, so this nasturtium has billowing 2-foot mounds with trailing blossoms that attracts hummingbirds with its scarlet flowers. So very deep red. I have not grown this variety of nasturtium before, but I have grown many others and I love all of them. So I'm happy to get this one in the garden as well. We have a few petunia varieties. So the thing with petunia, I've actually grown them from seed before, pretty easy. I love having that little pop of early spring color in the garden whenever the rest of the stuff is still trying to get its feet under it and get some growth on. So the first variety of petunia is called Daddy Blue. I didn't name it, y'all. I'm just gonna grow it. So this, again, spring and fall annual. This has silver blue 4-inch flowers on 12 to 18 inch tall plants. This says this is ideal for hanging baskets, so I might put these in my hanging baskets in the back, but I am also going to put them into the front flower bed. The next variety I have grown before, and that is the Prism Sunshine Petunia. So this is just a refill on my seeds. Again, spring, fall annual. These are 3 to 3.5 inch cream to pale yellow petunias, kind of ruffled edges. These are gonna go in my flower beds. They are pretty easy to grow. I've had really good success with these in the past, and they will provide like a nice bright, you know, kind of, not bright white, but kind of light color into the flower beds. And then the last variety of petunia from this company is Super Cascade Burgundy. Also grown this one before, so again, a refill on my seeds. Spring, fall annual flower, 4.5 inch burgundy flowers on 15 inch plants. So right in the middle size wise compared to the Daddy Blue petunia, and this one is perfect for hanging baskets, pots, and borders, so going into the flower beds. The next variety is a perennial that is winter hardy to zone 4. That is the Blue Set Russian Sage. These are compact 14 to 24 inch plants with lavender blue flower spikes on silver gray foliage. This is heat and humidity tolerant. Now the reason why I picked this up is I have some salvia out there, mealy sage, I think that's the name of it. I can't remember, something like that. Henry Dulberg, no, it's not Henry Dulberg. Anyway, it is a salvia and it is wild. It got a good 3-4 foot around last year, and that was after me cutting it down completely to the ground in the middle of the growing season. So I'm thinking that I want something a little less gigantic, maybe. I'm going to put this in before I cut the other one down to see how this does, because the hummingbirds do love the other one. So kind of torn. I might just have a very full flower bed of purple things. We'll see. But yes, 14 to 24 inch plants, lavender blue flower spikes on silver gray foliage. So really excited to get that going. And then I have a couple of varieties of zinnias. Now the varieties of zinnias that I got from this company are going to be dwarf varieties, because my front flower bed with the ornamental grasses and some of the other taller things, these dwarf zinnias are going to be better suited for the space that's going to be left. So the first variety is Profusion Apricot Zinnia. So this is a warm season annual with coral and terracotta 2-inch flowers. The plants are 12 to 18 inches tall. This tolerates powdery mildew, drought, humidity, and heat. So these are going to be like my summer superstars. And the thing with these is that they will just continue to produce all the way until the frost. I think I have one in the front that that self-sowed itself from a spent seed head, and it still has like a little green part on it, even though we have had, you know, killing frosts. I think there's just like a weird little microclimate right there that helps that one part of the plant stay alive. So these are pretty durable and pretty hard to kill, which is good because I get really lazy with the front. I'm really hoping not to this year. And then the last variety of zinnia is Profusion Double Fire Zinnia. So this one has double 2-inch orange flowers on 12 to 18-inch plants, tolerates heat, humidity, drought, and powdery mildew. So my idea for the spring going into the summer, I want the color palette to be like pinks and purples and reds, really, you know, happy spring colors. But the late summer going into the fall, I want the color palette to be like reds and oranges and greens, and then I do have some other purples that are going to be incorporated, kind of triggering the feeling of Halloween because we love Halloween around here. So that was the thought process behind the colors that I chose for things. All right, so the next company is going to be Johnny's. This one is a mix of edibles and flowers. So the first one is going to be Benary's Giant Orange Zinnia. Now, I know I just spoke about the dwarf zinnias going into the front. These will go into the back because they reach 40 to 50 inches tall with 4 to 6 inch double blooms. So these are giant, hence the name. Again, all zinnias are going to be warm season annuals. These are cut and come again. So as the flower blooms, you can cut it and then it will continue to bloom, continue to provide flowers, making it excellent for cut flower bouquets and stuff. This is a heat tolerant variety with a low susceptibility to powdery mildew. Now, in my experience, all of the Benary's Giant zinnias have fallen prey to powdery mildew. I don't know if this one's going to be any better. It just said on the Johnny's website that it had the low susceptibility to it. So we'll see. We get powdery mildew really bad here in North Texas, especially with the zinnias. So it'll be an experiment. The next variety is going to be Feathertop Ornamental Grass. So this is a hardy annual. It is 12-inch clumps with 9-inch woolly white plumes. So the pink muley grass is taller, so in my front flower bed, it'll kind of be in the back, and this will be in the middle to the front. This makes a showy landscape accent and is elegant as fresh or dried flower. And then I love growing sunflowers. I grow sunflowers for my pawpaw. I don't think it was his favorite flower, but whenever he passed away, the day after we had his funeral, we just suddenly started seeing sunflowers blooming everywhere. So ever since then, I have made sure to have sunflowers in my garden, as kind of, you know, the same way I brought Nanny into my garden, the sunflowers bring Pawpaw into mine. So this variety is Strawberry Blonde, and it is a warm season annual. This is the F1 hybrid. These plants are 5 to 6 foot tall with 18 to 24 inch side stems for cutting. The flowers themselves are burgundy, sometimes pink petals with lemony tips and dark centers. So I really like to grow sunflowers that are a little bit more unusual looking. While I do love the bright and cheery yellow ones, I really love how many other different colorful varieties there are. And this is one of those different colorful varieties. The next variety from Johnny Seeds is actually going to be a Serrano. Now last year I grew the Trapeo Serrano from Haas Tools. The plants did really well, but my husband was not a fan of the flavor, and he eats a ton of Serranos. So this is kind of a replacement. We're gonna see how this one does, see if he likes the flavor of this one. It is called Santo Domingo. It's also an F1 hybrid. The peppers on this plant are 4.5 to 5 inches long, so it's a little bit longer than typical Serranos, but it's not going to be super giant. This has a larger plant with a higher yield, and it reaches maturity in 62 days or so. So after you transplant, about 2 months later, you can start to harvest Serrano peppers. The next variety is a Hot Streak Tomato. Another F1 hybrid. This is a warm season annual indeterminate variety that has red fruit with yellow stripes. The fruits are 6 to 12 ounces, making them perfect for slicers. Obviously, I'm going to be using them for sauce and salsas and all the other different things. And the plants have a high disease resistance, which is great because all of my plants like to get sick. So these reach maturity in 70 days. The next variety is going to be Double Zahara Brilliant Mixture Zinnia. Again, zinnias are warm season annuals. This is a dwarf plant that reaches 12 to 20 inches in height. This is a mix of colors, including cherry, salmon, yellow, crimson, and white. So these are going to be planted in both the spring and the late summer garden. The double blooms are 1.5 to 2.5 inches wide, and it is resistant to powdery mildew. The next variety is another edible. This is going to be a peppercini, and this variety is called Paisan. This is a thin-walled fruit that is mild to slightly spicy. Harvest these at 3 to 4 inches for pickling, sauteing, or stir frying. My intended usage for these is going to be pickling. A few years ago, I grew banana peppers and pickled those, but we really like the flavor of pickled pepperoncinis better, and we put them on salads and pizzas, and I make salad dressing with the pickle brine. I mean, like, to me, these are more versatile than the banana peppers. So that's why we're gonna give these a go, and these reach maturity in 60 days. Okay, the next variety is going to be a Celosia. Now Celosia is incredibly heat tolerant, so it's going in both the front and the back of my garden, and this variety is Selway Purple. These are 24 to 40 inch tall plants, so these are kind of big, with 2 to 4 inch clusters of purple flower spikes. Sorry, vibrant magenta purple. This is a warm season annual, and these make great cut flowers. Now, I grew some celosia in the back last year. That was absolutely darling. I have more of those seeds, so I'm going to be growing those as well. These are just in addition. I really want full flower beds this year. And then the next variety of celosia is Sunday Bright Orange. These are 36-inch to 46-inch tall plants, so even taller than that purple variety, with 3 to 5-inch tall bright orange plumes. So this one is going to be the late summer fall flower celosia. The purple could be planted in both. And then this one also makes an excellent cut flower. And the last variety from Johnny Seeds is going to be Double Zahara Bright Orange. This is a warm season annual dwarf plant that reaches 12 to 20 inches tall with 1.5 to 2.5 inch double blooms that are bright golden orange flowers. This is powdery mildew resistant, and it is perfect for garden beds and containers. Last year, I put some dwarf zinnias in one of the flower beds, and I really liked the way that it looked. So I might incorporate some of these other dwarf varieties throughout the vegetable beds, the raised beds where I do my vegetable planting, just to help bring in pollinators, especially for things like cucumbers and squash, and also provide more color and visual interest. All right, so the next company that I ordered from is going to be MIgardener. I did not get very much from him just because I was really trying to stick with things that I specifically needed this year. So I got 3 varieties from him. They're all edible varieties, and the first variety is going to be Purple Beauty Bell Pepper. This is a warm season annual. I've grown Purple Beauty Bell Pepper before. The plants are incredibly prolific. They look really beautiful whenever they're growing. The bell peppers themselves taste really good. We use a lot of bell peppers for like fajitas, roasting off vegetables, stuff like that. So this will just be kind of a boost to the typical green, regular old bell pepper variety. Just provides a little bit more color. These are medium-sized to deep purple bell peppers. They reach maturity in 75 days. Now, a couple of years ago, my mom sent me a bunch of seeds that my papa had from his last garden, and one of the packets was Purple Beauty Bell. I still have some of those seeds, but they are not viable. They have not been germinating, so this is just another way to have papa in the garden with me, even if it's not technically his seeds. The next variety is going to be Butterbush Squash. Now, I have not grown any winter storage squash in any other year prior. I typically grow just regular summer squashes, but I really wanted to try to grow a winter squash, which is probably going to be a battle because of squash vine borers and squash bugs and stuff like that, but we're gonna try it anyway. This is just about the only winter squash that we like. We're not like big spaghetti squash fans. I guess we like acorn squash. But anyway, this is a butternut squash. This is grown in the summer as a winter storage squash. This can be stored 4 to 5 months, so it has a long shelf life. It is a compact plant that produces fruits that are 1 to 2 pounds each, and it reaches maturity in 75 days. So in theory, I could wait until like the heaviest squash vine borer, squash bug part of the season, wait until they've kind of, you know, made their way somewhere else, and then plant the seeds, which might be what I do. So like maybe mid-July or so, and then I should still get enough of a harvest in order to utilize these plants as winter squash as intended. And then the last variety from MIgardener is going to be the Lucid Gem Tomato. Now this is a variety that was bred by Wild Boar Farms. This is one that was recommended in my North Texas tomato research. This is an indeterminate warm season annual. The tomatoes ripen from deep purple with yellow to purple and orange. and there is kind of like a kaleidoscope tie-dye kind of effect, so really visually striking. This is a slicer tomato that is ideal for fresh eating, but y'all already know how I'm gonna use it, and it reaches maturity in 75 to 85 days. One more company. We're making it through. Okay, so the last company that I ordered from is Baker Creek. If you guys have heard of Baker Creek at all, they have like 50 bazillion different varieties of seeds. Let me show you their seed catalog. This is their seed catalog. 100 bazillion pages of awesomeness. So, yeah, 532 pages. Now, there's more than just seed varieties in here. There's recipes, there's history of some of the seed types. There is, you know, information on some of their growers, some of their staff, stuff like that. So it is a really good, just like all around kind of gardening resource too, because of the history and the recipes and stuff. This one is a purchased catalog. They have a free variety that is much, much smaller, probably only about that thick compared. But I really love utilizing this every year as a get me through winter kind of book. And I always save the recipes and save the history on some of the seed varieties, especially if it's something that I'm interested in growing or actively growing. Now, I did get quite a few seeds from them, and Baker Creek has like a reward program. You place an order, you get a free pack of seeds. But if you place an order that is a certain monetary amount, you get a second pack of seeds. And then if you place an even higher monetary amount, I don't know what the tiers are. I'm sure somebody else that places more orders than I do can break that down a little bit better. Then you get a third free packet of seeds. So it's kind of an all right way to build up your seed stash if you're not opposed to having stuff in your seed collection that might be a little more unique and interesting than you bargained for. But the first variety that I got from them is the Little Hero Fire Marigold. Again, all marigolds are warm season annuals. This is a petite French marigold that reaches 8 to 10 inches tall. The flowers are flame colored. You can see they kind of have like a deep red center and then kind of fades out to yellow along the ruffled edges. These are full sun tolerant, and these reach maturity in 45 to 55 days. The next variety is Safari Tangerine Marigold, and look how bold that orange is. So imagine that in like a late summer, fall garden. That is going to look awesome. So this is a 10 to 12 inch tall variety with 3-inch bright orange double blooms. This is perfect for beds, containers, and borders. I plant this in full sun and it reaches maturity in 45 to 55 days. Now with all of my marigolds, I'm going to start them in February to be planted out whenever I plant out all of my tomatoes and stuff. And then I will probably plant a second run or start a second run in June to be transplanted out in July to August, so that I will continue to have those yellow and gold and orange and red marigolds blooming throughout the entire growing season, because here in North Texas we can grow for like 210 days or something crazy. All right, continuing on. The next variety is going to be Chica Flame Marigold. This is a warm season annual, of course. It is a dwarf 10 to 12 inch plant with 2 to 3 inch golden centered double blooms. Now, the Baker Creek website said golden centered, but if you look at it, it's like mahogany centered and then like kind of golden orange on the outside. So we'll see, it'll be a surprise. This is ideal for beds, borders, and containers. Plants in full sun and reaches maturity in 55 to 65 days. So a lot of times when I plant my marigolds with my tomatoes and basil, the marigolds are blooming before the tomatoes are ready to harvest. So I at least get something pretty to look at while I'm waiting on my tomatoes. The next variety that I ordered is going to be Red Raven Coxcomb. Now this is a variety of celosia, and I really thought that it was interesting because it looks kind of like a brain. So anyway, warm season annual, striking deep red purple leaves with large blood red blooms. This is the bloom in the middle here. The leaves are edible and the blossoms can be used in tea. This plant itself has a compact size, so this one will be planted closer to the front of the flower beds, and this one is planted in full sun and reaches maturity in 90 to 100 days. The next variety is going to be Astra Rose Cream Sunflower. Look how darling that is. Just look at it. We're just gonna admire its beauty for just a second. Okay. So 3.5 foot tall plants. So this one is a little bit shorter than some of the other ones, so I might be able to sneak it into the front. We'll just have to see. It's a multi-branching plant, so you'll get multiple flowers from the same plant. It has pale pink and cream petals, as you can see. You'll plant this in full sun and it reaches maturity in 60 to 80 days. The next variety is going to be another celosia, and I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, so I'm going to do my best. Green sylphid, 30 to 40 inch tall plants with chartreuse plumes. Look how fun that is. So in that late summer, fall garden, that's going to look really cool, sort of reminiscent of zombies for the Halloween stuff. Plant it in full sun, reaches maturity in 90 days, and this is ideal for cut flowers. So cool. All right, we have a couple of petunia varieties. The first one is Superbissima Giant Alba Petunia, and look at that. So these are spring and fall annuals. I'm definitely growing them in the spring, undecided on if they will go into the fall garden or not. These are 9 inches tall, but they spread to 28 inches wide. So these are more of a sprawling variety and not really a mounding type. These have giant white and pink tinted blooms, as you can see, with this really deep veining here. Plant these in part sun and they reach maturity in 70 to 85 days. There's another petunia coming up, but first we're going to talk about this Panorama Red Bee Balm. So this is a perennial variety with 30-inch tall plants. This will bloom in its second year most of the time. The red flowers attract pollinators and beneficial bugs, and this one will grow in part sun to full sun. The next variety is actually an edible variety. If you have followed me in garden seasons past, you'll know that I love to grow cowpeas. So I got a new variety to try this year, which is called Red Ripper. This one is a warm season annual. It is a red seeded cowpea, as you can see here. It is drought and heat tolerant. It is a nitrogen fixing soil builder. So some of the historical context about this one is that farmers would plant it and then they would kind of chop and drop the greenery and kind of use that as a live mulch. The nitrogen breaks down, contributes to the overall soil health. So farmers really loved this one. Now this plant, compared to some of my other cowpeas, this one has running vines, and the pods on this one are 12 to 14 inches long. It gets planted in full sun and it reaches maturity in 80 to 100 days. So I'm really excited to try this one out. I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to use it for the soil building capabilities. Mostly the reason why I got it is for the edible food source reasons, but we'll see. Okay, so back to the petunias. We have Superbissima Cosmic Cherry. Again, spring and fall annual flower. Look how darling that is. The blossoms themselves are 7 inches. They're magenta flowers on compact plants. So we have like these giant petunia flowers on like kind of smallish dwarf plants. Plant this in part sun and it reaches maturity in 70 to 85 days. The last variety that I purchased from Baker Creek is going to be Spotted Bee Balm. This is a perennial that is drought tolerant. It is also flood tolerant, but we don't typically experience a lot of flooding here. We do experience a lot of droughts here. The powdery pink leaf-like bracts, which is what you see here, are what is kind of indicative of the Spotted Bee Balm, but it does have yellow flowers with kind of maroon spots. This will attract pollinators, and it is planted in part sun to full sun. This is useful in medicinal preparations, although I don't know which ones. I have not researched that yet. That was just from my notes from Baker Creek. Because of the amount that I ordered, I got 2 free seed packets from Baker Creek. The first one is Persian Carpet Zinnia. I have a packet of the same flower that I grew last year. It's pretty cute. I don't know if I'm going to incorporate it again, just because the flowers are kind of like, I don't know. Some of the zinnia varieties are like kind of mounding bushes, which I really like, the dwarf ones. This one is a dwarf one, but it's not like a mounding bush. It's kind of like branching. It's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more strange than what I want in like a dwarf plant, but we'll see. And then the other free variety that I got is this endive that I have no idea how to say. I don't think I'm going to plant it this season, but I will hold on to the seeds to either plant in the fall or trade away. The reason why is because I need to research how to use it in the kitchen. I think whenever I was in culinary school, we used it one time in 2 years. So I don't think it has like a broad use as much as like other leafy greens or other lettuces and stuff. So I want to research how to use this before I commit to growing it. But that is it. That is going to be, I'm 99% sure that's all the seeds that I'm ordering in 2026. Really trying to hunker down on not just willy-nilly seed ordering, simply because something looks pretty. I want to make sure that what I'm getting is necessary and useful. So yeah, that's it. That's the 2026 seeds for the garden this year. I did place a Haas Tools order back in October, I think. That video is already out. There are some seeds in that are going to be utilized within the 2026 garden, of course. This is just all that was new. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you liked today's video, please like, subscribe, comment, do all those different YouTubey things. My next video is actually going to detail how I organize all these different seed packets, because now that I have so many new ones, I'm gonna need to put them away. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Otherwise, until next time, go find a way to get those garden manicures. Bye!